Hello students, now we move on to another important topic, that is pulmonary function test. Pulmonary function test, these are the tests जो आपके lungs का assessment करता है, right? So ये टेस्ट के अंदर देर आर एक्चुअली थ्री मेजर कैटेगरीज कि हमको क्या असेस करना है. सो फर्स्ट कैटेगरी इज दैट टू इवेलुएट वेंटिलेटरी फंक्शन एंड मैकेनिकल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ ब्रीदिंग. वेंटिलेटरी फंक्शन मतलब कितना अमाउंट ऑफ एयर वी आर टेकिंग इन एंड हाउ मच अमाउंट ऑफ एयर वी आर गिविंग आउट. मैकेनिकल एस्पेक्ट्स मतलब हमारी प्रेशर और वॉल्यूम चेंजेस लंग्स के अंदर कितने वेरी कर रहे हैं. सेकेंड कैटेगरी है जो कि आपकी इनइक्वालिटी ऑफ वेंटिलेशन को मेजर करती है. द टेस्ट फॉर मेजरिंग the inequality of ventilation, because we have different three regions of the lungs, that is apex, middle zone and the base. तो ये तीनों regions में ventilation proper हो रहा है या नहीं, that we are assessing. Third category is test for diffusion across your respiratory membrane. Respiratory membrane में diffusion of gases, that is mainly diffusion of your oxygen and diffusion of your carbon monoxide as well as your carbon dioxide. Then fourth category is measurement of arterial blood gases, which mainly involves measurement of your PaO2, PaCO2 and pH. And the last category is your measurement of pulmonary blood flow and pressure, which is mainly done on your Fick's principle. So the first test which is under or included under this broad terminology of pulmonary function test is your to evaluate the ventilatory function and mechanical aspects of breathing. Now under this heading we have this 7 tests. कौन सी? Let's go about it. Number 1 is your lung volume and capacities, then timed vital capacity, maximum mid expiratory flow rate, peak expiratory flow rate, maximum voluntary ventilation, flow volume loop and measurement of your dead space. So these are the 7 tests which we perform under this broad term of your ventilatory function and mechanical aspect. And second, which mainly includes tests for measuring the inequality of ventilation. For this we use radioactive xenon. Third, that is the test for diffusion across your respiratory membrane, जिसमें हम mainly carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide and oxygen का diffusion कितना हो रहा है, that we measure. Then measurement of arterial blood gases, this mainly we test that is PO2, PCO2 and pH. In COVID times we used to measure the PO2 levels कि उसका PO2 94 के नीचे हुआ तो we have to start with the oxygen therapy. So that is this arterial blood gas analysis. Then you have the measurement of pulmonary blood flow and pressure, that is your Fick's principle. Then what are the indications of this pulmonary function test? ठीक है, हम क्यों करते हैं? So उसके जो indications हैं, these are the number 1, that is assist in diagnosis of your respiratory diseases. जो भी respiratory pathologies हैं, respiratory diseases हैं, like obstructive lung disease or restrictive lung disease, that is bronchial asthma हो गया या emphysema हो गया, उसको diagnose करने के लिए. ठीक है, हमने उसको डायग्नोज कर लिया. अब उसके बाद वी स्टार्टेड विद द ट्रीटमेंट. सो सेकेंड वन इज यार इट हेल्प्स इन मॉनिटरिंग द एफिशिएंसी ऑफ द ट्रीटमेंट. हमने डिजीज को डायग्नोज कर लिया, अब हमने उसकी ट्रीटमेंट भी चालू कर ली. बट जो हम ट्रीटमेंट कर रहे हैं वो कितना एफिशिएंटली आगे वर्क कर पा रही है और वी आर द ट्रीटमेंट इज नॉट प्रोग्रेसिंग फर्दर प्रॉपरली, तो वो सब कुछ असेस करने के लिए हम ये PFTs करते हैं. Third, monitoring the progression of disease, like how your disease is progressing, right? So this is again we go for the evaluation. Then evaluating the respiratory fitness of the patient for general anesthesia prior to surgery. आपने जब भी देखा होगा for the minor surgery जैसे this tooth extractions के लिए भी जब आप अपने patients के लिए history में पूछते हैं whether you are having any kind of respiratory problem, bronchial asthma तो नहीं है, या आप major surgeries if you are going for any major surgery, that time also जो pre anesthetic checkup होता है, जो anesthetist आपका pre anesthetic checkup करता है, they mainly ask whether you are having any kind of respiratory element or not. Then they assist in medical legal cases to decide fitness and amount for compensation. जो भी MLCs होती हैं, आपका patient कितना fit है, उसको हमको कितना compensation देना है, that there also these tests are being performed. Then to assess the physical fitness for certain jobs such as those involving strenuous physical exercise and flying at high altitude. हम ये PFTs we also do for the training for the हमारे athletes के लिए कि पहले इतना आपका peak expiratory flow rate था, अब ये इतना हो गया है. So this is how you evaluate. And it is also used in evaluation of lung functions and mainly in the various research areas, right? So these are the indications for your pulmonary function test. Okay, now let's see test to evaluate ventilatory function. So इतनी सारी PFTs में से जो हमारे लिए बहुत important है वो है ventilatory function की test, कि हमारा ventilatory functions कौन सी test से हम evaluate कर सकते हैं. So for that we have 4 volumes and 4 lung capacity. So these 4 volumes are, number 1 is your tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume and residual volume. अब ये वॉल्यूम से हम जो डिराइव करते हैं वो है कैपेसिटी. सो देयर आर 4 लंग कैपेसिटीज व्हिच टेल्स यू regarding the information of your ventilatory function, that is inspiratory capacity, functional residual capacity, vital capacity and the total lung capacity. Right now ये सारी लंग वॉल्यूम्स और कैपेसिटीज को मेजर करने के लिए वी हैव वन इंस्ट्रूमेंट. दैट इंस्ट्रूमेंट नेम इज अ स्पायरोमीटर. सो व्हाट इज स्पायरोमीटर? It is a process to record the volume movement of air into and out of the lungs. So this instrument, it basically records कितनी volume of air हम अंदर ले रहे हैं और कितनी exhale out कर रहे हैं. This can be performed by a simple spirometer जो मैनुअल भी होता है और कंप्यूटराइज भी होता है. Initially it used to be manual. Initially we used to do the manual. तो मैनुअल वाला जो था setup, this was the simple spirometer and this you can see in most of the labs. But nowadays this has been replaced by a computerized or the automated one जिसमें आपको just inhalation and exhalation करना होता है with a nose clip which is placed on the nose of a patient. ठीक है. All the lungs जो हम जो भी volumes है, जो भी हम inspire और expire करें, this is through a mouthpiece. Your nose is closed completely with a nose clip. Now this is a graph which represents all the 4 lung volumes and 4 capacities. Now by spirometer there are certain volumes and capacities which we cannot measure directly. Okay, those are this is indicated in this orange. Okay, now the first volume is your tidal volume. So this is the tidal volume. So this is nothing but the amount of air or the volume of air which is inspired or expired with each normal breath. So this is your tidal volume. So what is tidal volume? This is the volume of air which can be inspired or expired with each normal breathing. The normal value is 500 ml. So what instruction you give to the patient कि आप नॉर्मल जैसे ब्रीद इन एंड ब्रीद आउट करते हैं उतने तरीके से आपको ब्रीद इन ब्रीद आउट करना है एंड दिस इज जस्ट रिकॉर्डेड लाइक दिस ऑन योर स्पायरोमीटर. आई बात समझ में? सो दिस इज द रिकॉर्डिंग ऑफ द tidal volume. Now second volume is your inspiratory reserve volume. So this inspiratory reserve volume is nothing but the extra volume of air that can be inspired over and above the normal tidal volume when a person inspire with full force. हमने पेशेंट को टाइडल वॉल्यूम के लिए क्या इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया कि आप जो नॉर्मल ब्रीदिंग करते हैं उसके हिसाब से ब्रीद इन एंड ब्रीद आउट के. अब सेकेंड इंस्ट्रक्शंस फॉर इंस्पिरेटरी रिजर्व वॉल्यूम आप क्या दोगे कि आप जितना भी एफर्ट लगा के ब्रीद इन कर रहे हैं that is your inspiratory reserve volume. So this is after recording few of this tidal volume, then what happens is that ये maximum effort यहाँ से लेके this is your inspiratory reserve volume. So this is nothing but from here to here is your inspiratory reserve volume. The normal value of this inspiratory reserve volume is 3000 ml. Okay. Now the next volume is your expiratory reserve volume. That is the maximum extra volume of air that can be expired by forceful expiration after end of normal tidal expiration. Okay. Now see in this graph. आपने ये फिर से अब ये inspiratory reserve volume ले लिया. Then again you record a normal tidal volume. Then you tell to patient कि आप जितना forcefully expire कर सकते हैं उतना आप forcefully expire कीजिए. Then you get the recording of this. What you have is the expiratory reserve volume. The normal value of expiratory reserve volume is 1100 ml. That is 1100 ml. Now the next volume or the last volume is your residual volume. So this is the volume of air in the lungs which is remaining after most forceful expiration. आप जितना forcefully expire कर दिया उसके बाद भी आपके lungs में कुछ volume of air it is remaining, and that volume of air which is remaining in the lungs is your residual volume and its normal value is 1200 ml. And see this, ये जो orange portion में जो ये है, this is your residual volume. क्योंकि आप जब forceful expire करने के बाद जितनी आपकी air बची आपकी lungs में, this is your residual volume, right? So this is the volume or the first volume which cannot be measured with your simple spirometer. तो सिंपल स्पायरोमीटर से आप टाइडल वॉल्यूम मेजर कर सकते हो, इंस्पिरेटरी रिजर्व वॉल्यूम मेजर कर सकते हो एंड एक्सपिरेटरी रिजर्व वॉल्यूम, बट यू कैन नॉट मेजर रेसिडुअल वॉल्यूम बाय द सिंपल स्पायरोमीटर. नाउ वी मूव ऑन टू द कैपेसिटीज. जो कैपेसिटीज होती हैं वो दो लंग वॉल्यूम को ऐड करके हमें मिलती है. ठीक है, सबसे पहला is your inspiratory capacity. So this is amount of air a person can breathe in beginning at the normal expiratory level and descending the lungs to the maximal amount. Okay, मतलब हम quiet breathing और maximum inspiratory effort से जितनी volume of air हमारी lungs के अंदर ले सकते हैं, that is your inspiratory capacity. Mathematically, inspiratory capacity is IRV plus TV, that is inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume. So that was 3000 plus 500, that accounts for about 3500 ml. So यहाँ से लेके यहाँ तक, this is your inspiratory capacity. Okay, this is inspiratory reserve volume plus tidal volume. Then next one is your functional residual capacity. Amount of air which is remaining in the lungs at the end of normal expiration. Okay, तो वॉल्यूम ऑफ एयर जो आपकी लंग्स में बचती है एट द एंड ऑफ योर फ्रॉम द एंड ऑफ योर नॉर्मल एक्सपिरेशन इज योर functional residual capacity. This is given by the two values as your expiratory reserve volume plus residual volume. This is 2300 ml. Now this is the capacity which you cannot measure with the सिंपल स्पायरोमीटर, क्योंकि हम रेसिडुअल वॉल्यूम को मेजर नहीं कर सकते. तो जो एफआरसी होती है, दिस इज योर एक्सपिरेटरी रिजर्व वॉल्यूम प्लस योर रेसिडुअल वॉल्यूम. सो दिस इज योर एफआरसी. Got it? So this is the first capacity which you cannot measure with a simple spirometer. Then vital capacity. So the volume of air which can be exhaled from the lungs after maximal inspiration. Okay, this is given by the formula IRV plus TV plus ERV and the normal value is around 4600 ml. So आपने पेशेंट को बोला आप जितना एयर अंदर ले सकते हो उतना लीजिए, उसके बाद मैक्सिमम एक्सपिरेशन करना है. सो दिस इज योर वाइटल कैपेसिटी. सी इन दिस ग्राफ. सो दिस इज वाइटल कैपेसिटी इज एंटायर. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट ERV tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. Okay, now this equation we can also write as this IRV plus TV is inspiratory capacity plus expiratory reserve volume. Then you have the total lung capacity. Total lung capacity is the volume of air in the lungs after maximal inspiration. आपने maximum inspire किया तो जितनी भी volume of air आपके lungs में रहती है, that is your total lung capacity and it is given by the formula IRV plus TV plus ERV plus residual volume. In other words, I can say that it is vital capacity plus residual volume, which the normal value is around 5800 ml. Got it? So this is the second capacity which you cannot measure with the spirometer, that is total lung capacity. So with normal spirometer, we cannot measure one volume and two capacities. So the one volume is your residual volume and the two capacities are FRC, that is functional residual capacity, and number two is your total lung capacity. Got it? So these three things you cannot measure with a simple spirometer. Now let us understand what is the significance of this FRC. What is FRC? It is functional residual capacity. Now because of FRC, continuous exchange of gases is possible. ऐसा कभी नहीं होता कि आपके lungs में कोई कुछ भी या 0 ml of air is remaining. There is always some amount of air which is there in the lungs, and because of this the continuous inspiration and continuous expiration is possible. Also you can hold a breath for certain time duration, that is breath holding is possible. It can be around 1 minute, 2 minutes. If you practice it in the yogic exercises, it can be even half an hour or more than that. So this is breath holding is possible. Also dilution of toxic gases it occurs. इसका best example है whenever you are stuck in a traffic and if there is a truck in front और उसमें से बहुत गंदा smoke आ रहा है, तो you close your car का windows. ठीक है, आपको initially बहुत suffocating लगता है, then it normally it ease out. क्यों? क्योंकि आपके अंदर जब वो fumes गई वो exhaust की truck के, तो वो that was diluted with the air which was already present in your lungs. So this is because of your FRC. Also the load on the respiratory mechanism and left ventricle is minimized. ठीक है, अब तुम सोचो मुझे 0 किलोमीटर से 10 किलोमीटर तक जाना है, ठीक है। इसके लिए वर्क मेरे को लग रहा है मुझे 2 किलो जूल का मेरा एनर्जी वेस्ट हो रहा है। अब मैंने क्या किया, पहले मैं 0 to 5 किलोमीटर तक गया, वहां पे मेरा 1 किलो जूल ऑफ एनर्जी गया, फिर 5 से मैं 10 पे गया, ठीक है, वहां पे मेरा 1 किलो जूल गया फॉर एग्जाम्पल। अब मुझे ये बताओ, जो वर्क ऑफ ब्रीदिंग की अगर मैं वर्क की बात करूं तो 0 to 5, ठीक है, और 5 to 10, राइट। तो जब हम सीधा एट अ स्ट्रेच 0 से 10 पे करते हैं, यहाँ पे हमको ज्यादा मेहनत लगती है बनिस्बत आप 0 to 5 गए देन 5 to 10 गए। तो यहाँ पे कैसा होता है, नाउ बिकॉज ऑफ दिस एफआरसी आपकी लंग्स कोलैप्स नहीं होती है। अगर आपकी लंग्स पूरी कोलैप्स हो गई, अब उसको पूरा फिर से बलून को जैसे हम फुलाते हैं वैसे लंग्स को फुलाने के लिए आपको ज्यादा एफर्ट लगेगा। जैसे हम बलून को इन्फ्लेट करते हैं ना, सेम इज फॉर द लंग्स एंड इट इज मेनली बिकॉज ऑफ योर what you have the FRC, right? Also the collapsed lung, it is they would have increased pulmonary vascular resistance and imposed a heavy load on the left ventricle, ठीक है। तो collapsing is being prevented by this FRC. Now this FRC, it cannot be determined by this pyrometer, this I have already explained. इसको measure करने के लिए there are two different techniques. Number one is a helium dilution method and nitrogen washout method. So these are the two techniques which you should remember or you should know the name. FRC आपकी दो important conditions में बढ़ती है, that is respiratory pathology की हम बात करें तो that is emphysema and bronchial asthma. Now second important capacity which you should know is your vital capacity. ये जो vital capacity है, it allows the assessment of your maximum inspiratory and expiratory effort. यानी आप कितना maximum inspiration कर सकते हैं और expiration कर सकते हैं. Now this provides useful information through your FEV, ठीक है, that is forced expiratory volume. Now the factors which is affecting vital capacity is your size of thoracic cavity. आपका अगर size ज़्यादा होगा, आपकी vital capacity ज़्यादा होगी. Age, as the age is increasing, आपकी vital capacity कम होती है क्योंकि आपका effort कम होते जाता है. Strength of respiratory muscles, आपका strength अगर strong है, vital capacity अच्छी रहेगी. अगर आपकी respiratory muscles weak है, तो vital capacity definitely उसकी value पे affect पड़ेगा. Gravity, प्रेगनेंसी में भी व्हाट हैपेंस इज वाइटल कैपेसिटी कम हो जाती है बिकॉज देयर इज नो स्पेस फॉर द लंग टू एक्सपैंड, क्योंकि यूट्रस ग्रो होने की वजह से इट बिकम्स अ एब्डोमिनल ऑर्गन. असाइटिस में भी देयर इज लेस ऑफ द स्पेस फॉर द एक्सपेंशन ऑफ द thoracic क्योंकि ऑलरेडी एब्डोमिनल कैविटी में देयर इज अ फ्लूइड प्रेजेंट. और पल्मोनरी डिजीजेस में ऑल्सो देयर इज अ डिक्रीज इन द वाइटल कैपेसिटी. नाउ डायनेमिक लंग वॉल्यूम्स एंड कैपेसिटीज, जो हमने अभी तक पढ़ी 4 वॉल्यूम्स एंड 4 कैपेसिटीज, वो स्टैटिक थी. Static means it was just inflow of air and outflow of air. यहाँ पे कोई भी time component involved नहीं था. पर जैसे ही आप time component involve करते हो static lung volumes and capacities में, उसका term हो जाता है dynamic. Okay, so dynamic means it is with reference to time. कितने time duration में आप inhale कर रहे हो या आप exhale कर रहे हो. Okay, so this is your timed vital capacity, which is also referred to as your forced vital capacity. So the total volume of expired air forcibly with greatest force and speed after maximal inspiration. Now understand this. This is nothing but the vital capacity. Vital capacity में हम क्या करते हैं, maximum inspiration लेते हैं and then you exhale out forcibly. अब हमको ये जो expiration है इसकी हमको timing करनी है. आई बात समझ में? अपने maximum inspiration तो ले लिया, अब आप maximum expire कर रहे हो, but आपको वो time duration के हिसाब से उसको timing करने हैं. So that time duration is first second, then second second and third second. So अगर जब भी आप expiration कर रहे हो during the first second, that is referred to as your FEV1. So fraction of vital capacity that is expired in the first second, that is your FEV1. Got it? कितने fraction का vital capacity जो आपने inspire किया था, आप exhale out कर रहे हो first second में, that is your FEV1. So this is more than 80%. इसकी जो value रहती है normal, it is up to 85 to 87%. Okay? Then now FEV2. Now V2 means फ्रैक्शन ऑफ वाइटल कैपेसिटी एक्सपायर्ड इन 2 सेकेंड, यानी 1 सेकेंड खत्म हो गया, अब उसके बाद एक और सेकेंड जो रहेगा दैट इज द सेकेंड सेकेंड, उसमें कितनी आप वाइटल कैपेसिटी आपने एक्सपायर आउट कर दी, दैट इज योर 95% ऑफ योर FEC. दिस इज अ नॉर्मल वैल्यू. एंड FEV3 इज अ फ्रैक्शन ऑफ वाइटल कैपेसिटी विच इज एक्सपायर्ड इन 3 seconds, दैट इज इन द थर्ड सेकेंड. फर्स्ट सेकेंड में FEV1, सेकेंड सेकेंड में FEV2 एंड थर्ड सेकेंड में इट इज FEV3. So this normal range, it is 97 to 100% of your forced vital capacity. Got it? So these are the normal values for FeV1, FeV2 and FeV3. Now this time vital capacity or forced vital capacity, it is very important for differentiating between the two respiratory pathology diseases, that is obstructive lung disease and restrictive lung disease. Now let us see the graph for those two. See, now here the vital capacity is 4.8 liters, which is considered to be normal. So, right, this is what happens is that the here FeV1 जो था 3.85 liters था. This is the graph for that, which is around 80% of your FEC. Now in the group B, here vital capacity is 2.4 liters. Okay, so that is that is decreased. और यहाँ पे जो है FeV1, this is 83% of your vital capacity. So this is what you have the, it is approximately, it is vital capacity तो कम हो गई है, but आपकी जो ये है forced vital capacity, this it is in constant with that. So this is your restrictive lung disease. Now third here vital capacity is 4.8 liters while FeV1 is 1.3, which is 25% of your vital capacity. So this is decreased and this is seen in the ऑब्स्ट्रक्टिव लंग डिजीज. ओके, तो रेस्ट्रिक्टिव लंग डिजीज में आपकी वाइटल कैपेसिटी कम होती है with reference to your obstructive lung disease. Obstructive lung disease में आपकी vital capacity normal रहती है. And here FeV1 in restrictive lung disease, it decreases or you can say it remains normal. Not it decreases, it remains normal. मतलब वो 82 to 83% of the vital capacity रहेगा. But आपकी vital capacity ही कम हो जाएगी. While in obstructive lung disease, आपकी ये जो है FeV1 is drastically reduced. Now the next dynamic lung capacity is your maximum voluntary ventilation. Maximum means कितना ज़्यादा आप voluntarily ventilate कर सकते हो आपकी lungs को. So this is also known as maximum breathing capacity. That is nothing but your MBC. Breathing capacity मतलब आप कितनी amount of air अंदर ले सकते हो और कितनी आप exhale कर सकते हो with your maximal voluntary effort. ठीक है? So this is the maximum volume of air that can be breathed in and out per minute by maximum voluntary effort. आपको कितना effort कैसा लगाना है? Maximum लगाना है और voluntary लगाना है. It should not be at the level of your autonomic nervous system. This is done by your spirometer और Douglas bag से भी कर सकते हैं. आजकल तो ready-made softwares आते हैं. The normal value is around 80 to 170 liters per minute. Then breathing reserve and the dyspneic index. Now, breathing reserve is a maximum amount of air that can be breathed in and out of the lungs above your minute ventilation. Minute ventilation is your which is occurring in your resting condition. That is, उसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? Normal जो आपका respiratory rate होता है into tidal volume, that is your minute ventilation. That is also called as your resting minute ventilation. उसके ऊपर आप कितनी amount of air अंदर ले सकते हैं और exhale out कर सकते हैं, that is your breathing reserve. So this is your MVV minus MV. MV is maximum voluntary ventilation and MV is your minute ventilation. So normal values are around 115 to 160. अब इससे हमको निकालना रहता है dyspneic index, because this dyspneic index whenever we calculate, we classify or we do the gradings of dyspnea. Dyspnea is nothing but your breathlessness, that is inability to breathe in and out inadequately. Okay, so this is dyspneic index is equal to MVV minus minute ventilation upon MVV into 100. So this and this normal value for dyspneic index, it is 60 to 90%. अगर ये 60% से कम हो गया तो that is your dyspneic point. There is a range 60 to 40 है तो grade 1 dyspnea, 20 to 40 है तो grade 2, less than that it is grade 3. So this is how you do the gradings for your dyspnea. Now minute respiratory ventilation or resting ventilation, this I have already said, it is nothing but tidal volume into respiratory rate, which is approximately 6 liters per minute. Now alveolar ventilation is the ventilation which is occurring at the level of alveoli. तो इसमें हम क्या करते हैं? Respiratory rate को now what we do, we multiply with a factor which you get by like tidal volume minus the dead space volume. So this is 12 into the 12 is like normal. हम range consider करते हैं. It is 12 to 18 breaths per minute. It is a normal range. So this is 500 minus 150, that is equal to 4.2 liters per minute is your alveolar ventilation. So this was all about all the lung volumes and capacities, dynamic lung volumes and capacities, which you are supposed to know. Thank you.